Julie Pianto with Bernard Kelly from retirelaughing.com. So Bernard, what selection criteria do you use?
Well, this is a good question, Julie. Actually, it's probably one of the top 10 questions that every investor should ask. And the reason it's important is because it really is the nub of what you think about when you think about investing. You really want a solid cash flow, and you want capital growth and all the rest of it, and you want the ideal tenant. And the ideal tenant who generates the cash flow for you and maintains the property and all the other wonderful things that happens when you become a landlord, the ideal tenant is the cornerstone of the whole strategy, and the ideal tenant is a young couple with kids in primary school. And the reason is they'll stay 5 or 6 years in that same house. And the reason is, the explanation is, in our culture here in Australia, we don't like to break the kids' friendships in primary school. And so the ideal tenant is the young couple with kids in primary school. They'll stay 5 or 6 years. Now, they will be able to keep, as the rent keeps going up, they'll keep, paying that extra $10, $15, $20 per week extra. But at least they won't move out. Now, when a tenant moves out, there's always 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe 4 weeks, before you can get the replacement tenant in, and the real estate agent will charge you $500 or $600 to find that replacement tenant. So you can be out of pocket $2,000. Now that's what, but typically if the people are going to stay 5 or 6 years, every year you're $2,000 better ahead. And really, when we know who they are, that's the ideal tenant. Then you say, hey, what do they want? And what do they want to live in? And then what they want is a brand new air-conditioned 4-bedroom family home on its own title with a yard back and front with a double garage and all the rest of it. And that's typically what we give them. So typically there's like selection criteria is who is the ideal tenant, and then what do they want. And that is what the whole base of my very successful investment strategy relies on. Firstly, who is the ideal tenant, and then secondly, what does that ideal tenant want?
Well, thanks for explaining that, Bernard. It's made it a lot clearer.